Number two, they love to talk about waste, fraud, and abuse. But if that were true, the cuts to any waste, fraud, and abuse that they identify should be reinvested into more efficient delivery of these programs. If you find that, oh wait, we have found that we could make this process more efficient, then make it more efficient and expand the amount of healthcare provisions that are available to people. But that's an aside. The answer is not in cutting veterans care as they've been doing. The answer is not in defunding the PACT Act as they've been doing, because I'll tell you, our service members go abroad and they breathe in air from burn pits and they get exposed to toxic inhalations. Their healthcare should be covered, and you shouldn't be making a buck off of the misery and off of defunding healthcare for service members. Anyways, I will continue. We have an opportunity to stop this, and we have an opportunity to act right now. So my first ask is to go to that link in my bio and see if one of your members is represented on the Energy and Commerce Committee. And if you type in your zip code, it will tell you that. Sorry, I've got a computer in front of me for light. If type in your zip code, it will tell you if you are represented, and if you are, then it will give you the call script. It'll tell you everything that you need to do. And yes, you can make pressure calls on Republicans, but it is also important to give positive calls to Democrats who are standing up and doing the right thing. All too often in politics, people engage in all sticks and no carrots. And I do think that it's important. You have to show two things at once. Both that, one, if an elected official is doing something that you oppose, that you will also oppose them. But two, that if a politician is standing up and does do the right thing, that there is actually a constituency for doing the right thing, and that people are willing to take action to support that. So positive things are just as important to positive things are just as important to do as tough love. It said that it was like pausing it. Anyways, so that's first and foremost that I want to talk to you all about. Save Medicaid. And by the way, I want to get a little bit more granular as well. There are members on the Energy and Commerce Committee from states all across the country. From Michigan, you've got Gabe Evans in Colorado. We did one of our rallies in Greeley in his district. We've done rallies in other Republican districts as well. These are very, very close, tight, and competitive seats. And if they are able to hear from their constituents, and if they're able to respect their constituents' desires, which is possible in these kinds of close seats, then we may be able to slow down this bill or stop it altogether. And if we are able to stop it altogether, then we are also able to save Medicaid. And I want to tell you, again, do not give up on this, because the pressure is starting to work. Donald Trump and Steve Bannon, one of his top political strategists, are realizing how many people in this country are on Medicaid and how many Republicans are actually on Medicaid. There are lots of Republicans who receive government programs and government benefits who, in order for them to sustain this, they convince everybody that somehow like a bunch of undocumented people are taking all the Medicaid in this country, which is not true. They want to lie and say that all like their new thing is able-bodied men, as though there's like millions and millions and millions of like 20-year-old guys that have like somehow fraudulently taking Medicaid. Also not true. Medicaid is already one of the most efficient government programs in the United States. Like literally all the fat from it has already been trimmed. And if you're on Medicaid, you probably already know that. So what they are saying, because Trump's popularity is tanking due to these boneheaded ass backwards tariffs that he's put on, because their popularity is tanking because of all this crazy stuff that they're doing, snatching women and babies off the street who have done nothing wrong, tearing people apart, tearing communities apart. Now they're already on the defensive and they cannot take this blow on Medicaid. And so Trump has been making calls to Republicans in the House saying, we don't know if we can cut Medicaid. And that creates a big problem for them because they have no way of paying for these tax cuts for Elon and all of their donor class without touching Medicaid. They don't know how to do it. They can't figure it out. And so Trump and the White House are starting to crack on this. And that is why I am telling you this. I am not here to give you any BS. When I tell you to make a call, I don't tell you this in circumstances when I don't think it's going to make any difference. This will make a difference.